Welcome to Vegas to Reno.
Well, here we are back at the RMG headquarters after Vegas to Reno. Couldn't be happier with the finish for the three cars. You know, Brian and I are accustomed to qualifying Class 1 cars, and so we felt super comfortable, especially thinking about the competition. There's only a couple of guys that have done it before. We talked about being conservative, kind of. The beginning of that qualifying track was trophy truck bumps. This car worked perfect. It's always in hindsight, right? We could have pushed this car harder. We felt super comfortable and said a top 10 would be perfect. And lo and behold, Brian put it in the position 8. A lot of competition, right? You know, 50 cars. We just felt with that qualifying position, we put ourselves in the pack to be up front and in that pocket of air with speed, and it worked out perfectly. You know, when he got out of the car, he thought, oh man, I missed this corner and, you know, God, we're going to be back. And when those results came up, it was like, whew, all right, we're ready.
My name's Costner Gunther, and I'm the driver of the T814. Qualifying went well. We accomplished what we wanted to. We just ran a pace that would preserve our car, so we would have a full car for Friday in the race.
Costner is new to the racing. I rode with him in qualifying. He has all the fundamentals and he's looking forward to going faster. It's just all about seat time.
And this was my first ever Vegas to Reno and first time doing off-road racing. Our game plan for Vegas to Reno was just come out the gate smooth. We wanted to preserve the car. It's a long race.
You know, it actually, the first 130 miles went exactly to plan. That pocket of air that I talked about, we were in that pocket of air. Brian told me for the first 130 miles, he did not have any dust. That spoke to us. That was like perfect. We're maintaining our spot. We're carrying that pace with the leaders. And in fact, when we got to 100, he was inside the top 5. We got to 130 at the first fueling stop. Man, we were so excited. We were dumping fuel and then we identified a CV boot that had come off. We had that happen at Parker and I know what that feeling's like. And when I had to tell Brian about it, he was, very quickly, thank God, our guys went to work. We had the parts. We changed it out in about 20 minutes.
We were deciding whether we would have a driver change or not. We had my brother ready to drive the car at pit 7, but I decided that I wanted to finish this entire race by myself. Unfortunately, at race mile 10, we lost our navigation, so it definitely slowed up our pace, slower than we anticipated.
We got a little downtime. We got a long ways to go. I was getting in the car in the next 100 miles, and so we got prepped for the driver change. car was fantastic. The only thing that Brian identified, he said something happened, the car was not charging, rocks, something spit the belt off the alternator. We decided we're only halfway in, let's take our time, let's check the batteries. Unfortunately, the battery's up under the hood, so we had to take a little bit of extra time. Thank God we did. Going into the night, one of the batteries was killed. So we put a new battery in. Again, having the guys, having the parts, we were able to put the car back in a condition that when I got in, nothing happened and I was able to run trouble-free for 230 miles. So the 1977 started out strong.
My dad handed the car off to me at pit 8, and then we drove all the way to the finish line.
When Braden got in, they had a couple of minor issues, but Braden being Braden, you know, he's like MacGyver.
The car wasn't running right. We could only hit like 7,000 RPMs until the clutch finally exploded on us.
I'm not sure any of us would have been able to fix it the same.
So I had to makeshift the clutch to go 25 miles.
Our goal going into this race was to finish, whether it was dead last or first place. All we wanted to do was finish this race.
We were able to really get in a position of confidence right before Vegas to Reno, and it showed. Reality is every mechanical piece on this thing worked perfect. I would be comfortable right now turning around and running the 500 miles back.
It's very tough to race, no navigation in the dust at night.
He did fantastic. I mean, number one, he Ironman the thing all by himself. He was able to weather the storm. He did tell me he didn't want to get back in it at the after he got back out, which is obvious after 11 hours, but did a fantastic job. And again, I mean, that's another finish for a guy who is just starting in the sport.
We passed the finish line and the car literally died on us. After 490 miles, it was an awesome feeling to get across the finish line.
Super gratifying for us. I mean, it's what, North America's toughest race? We're really excited about what this car can do in the future. We showed that we can run up front, and that's all you want.